Hi, I'm Terry Pascoe and welcome to After the 80. On today's show, we'll chat to Rikki-Lee Arnold from the Courier Mail, who'll bring you the latest news about the Intrust Super Cup. And also Julian Christian from the Ipswich Jets will be your player profile for this week. Joining me each week, though, to talk all things Intrust Super Cup, Anthony Bomber Breeze. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. We didn't get to see as many Intrust games last week as what we normally do, with only the 4 available, but they were 4 reasonable games there, so...
Yeah, no, good quality games, probably bar one, maybe was probably a bit more, but let's see how we go. Now, if you'd like to join the discussion with us, you can find us on Facebook. Just go to Phoenix Media Hub, like our page and leave your comments below. Now, let's have a look at round 9 of the Intrust Super Cup. Like you mentioned, Bomber, only a couple of games, only 4 games. I guess it's a bit of split round, as I guess you could see, because obviously this week we've only got 3 games, but surprise there, victory for Mackay Cutters. I guess it shows how close the competition really is. Oh, well,
if you see the ladder, which we will a little bit later on there, it's very congested up near the top. It's very congested near the bottom too. So, like you said, it was North were up in the top 6 there, and to lose to Mackay, who were running down near the bottom there, just goes to show the unpredictability we have around the competition.
And I really thought the game last week that would have been a bit of a highlight was Sunshine Coast Falcons and Central, but I mean, they're next to each other on the ladder, so you'd assume it would be a close game, but I don't know, I guess Johns and that coming up and Jerome Hughes playing was just incredible.
Well, it was all over at half-time. It was 32-0 at half-time. They could have blown out. Obviously, got to rev up at half-time, so only 6-0, but the man you just mentioned, Jerome Hughes, he had a bottler. So.
Well, look, now the game that really interests me, Bomber, was South and East. Now, South were lucky to hold on. East were finishing fast. The score at half-time, I believe, was 24-6, so they had a convincing lead, but, you know, I guess you just worried that maybe did they rest on their heels?
Yeah, well, obviously, South got off to a good start there. Phil Dennis, the old fella, got over to get South onto the board there, and the rest of the first half there, they just seemed to have total control, and like you said, went into the break there leading 24-6. This is Chase Blair going over.
And look, and that's the thing, see, East had a pretty big lineup. They had Chase Blair, Scott Drinkwater and Billy Walters all playing, but they did have no Brodie Croft, who was named on Tuesday, but obviously didn't make it to the game.
Yeah, well, obviously he would have been a big loss for them. So, but obviously others did step up there. Obviously not in the first half, but in the second half they come rattling back at them there, and it was 24-22 at one stage. So.
Yeah, look, and South Logan had to finish the game with 12 men after Scott Doyle suffered a pretty severe leg injury, and they ran out of interchanges as well. So I guess in the day where they're talking about reducing the interchange, you know, these are circumstances where coaches have probably got to keep one up their sleeve.
Yeah, well, it's hard. I think if you have a look at a couple of the other games there was one left in a couple of other games, but like you said, it doesn't dictate. You know when you're going to make the changes, but then if an injury occurs or something happens, it just throws it all out of whack, doesn't it? So.
Yeah, mate. Well, now, what was the game that you liked over the weekend?
I liked the top of the table clash. They were the 2 best teams in the competition so far, the Burleigh and the Blackhawks game there. It was a very defence-orientated game there. 6-all at half-time there. The 2 forward packs, they were 2 great forward packs against each other there. We had Francis Molo for the Blackhawks up against Luke Page from Burleigh. So.
Yeah, look, and I guess that was the biggest problem with Townsville this year so far. Like, yes, they've won the last 5 games in a row, which is a good thing. But I guess their first 4 games, they were really, they were giving away, on average, 21 points a game. So, it's good that they fixed that, because obviously that's linked to them winning games.
Yeah, well, like you said, when you're leaking that many points there, obviously there is something wrong with your defence there. And in this game, like we said, 6-all at half-time, kicks a field goal here, that makes it 7-6, and the game ended up 13-6. So obviously the defence was fixed up, and they got away with the chocolates, old Burleigh.
Yeah, look,
the Blackhawks, sorry.
The Blackhawks, yeah. And look, Dallas Wells did come back for him, but they're still missing Jamal Fogarty and Curtis Rowe as well. And Ben Hennant wasn't eligible to play, or wasn't able to be selected for this game. So, it probably showed a little bit more there.
Yeah, so well, they're 3 big outs, aren't they? So very experienced players there that obviously would have led them around the park. But obviously, I don't think they'd be too disappointed. Obviously, they'd be disappointed with the loss there, but a 13-6 loss is not too bad. I think the Blackhawks would be happy with the win there, but their discipline was very poor.
Yeah,
they lost the penalties 12-3.
Yeah, so 12-3 is pretty huge, considering it makes a huge difference of a game. So now let's have a look at the ladder after round 9 and see where everyone's on up. Now only 4 games, so it does make a bit of a change.
It's right a bit out of whack. Yeah.
So look, the Burleigh Bears still hold on to their top spot with Townsville, but Townsville obviously are creeping up on them as quickly, and a few surprises there with. Sunny Coast creeping in and Northern Pride as well.
Yeah, well, like I said, you can see North there on 12 points there. They would have been expecting the 2 points last week, so they would be on 14 points, equal top. So obviously it was a big loss. You must win them games.
Yeah, look, and you can see that Northern Pride are sitting on 8 points with Sunny Coast. Now, if you put that into context, where over the page you'll see that the PNG Hunters are only got 4 points, but they're only 2 wins away from the top 8.
Well, like you just said, PNG, they're on bottom of the ladder on there. Have a look at the team in 9th position. They're on 6 points. So 1 win puts you all the way up there. Obviously, for and against does come into play there. So,
and Tweed Heads is obviously a key indicator. I mean, it was only a few weeks ago that they were sitting on 0 on a donut and couldn't do anything.
Yeah, well, obviously 3 wins in a row. You get on a little bit of a roll, which some of these teams have to get on. You go on a little bit of a roll, you can jump not just 1 or 2 places, you can jump 4 or 5 places. So. Yeah.
Well, that's how we see the competition so far. Joining us live, the Courier Mail's rugby league reporter, Rikki-Lee Arnold. Welcome to After the 80.
Thank you for having me.
Now, what's been your take of the Intrust Super Cup so far?
Oh, look, it's always a close competition. I think we're definitely seeing that so far this season. There's definitely been a few standouts, but then we're also seeing some surprise results, some teams that perhaps we thought would do really well aren't doing as well and getting a few upsets. So definitely very close at the moment, but I like to see that. I like to see that competition, and I like a bit of that unknown. It does make it hard when it comes to the tipping, but yeah, it's definitely been an interesting start.
Yeah, let's not talk about the tipping at the moment because I'm woeful. I've actually decided that I'm going to start tipping, whatever I tip, I'm going to go the complete opposite.
Yeah, I know that tactic's being tried by a few people. I haven't adopted it myself yet, but it's getting to that point now, and maybe I should.
So when do you think that the PNG's, bad luck's going to turn around for them?
Look, it's really hard to say because, I mean, they're one of those teams we just don't get to see enough of. Obviously, there's no live streaming coming out of their games. I think they've had 1 TV game so far this year, so we haven't seen a lot of them. They've obviously had some off-field upset personal things going on as well. And then they lost a lot of their team that played for them last year. I think Stargroth was the most recent one with his retirement. So it's definitely an adjustment period for them. It's very hard to see when it's going to turn around. You'd like to think sooner than later, maybe when they get a few more home games going on, but it's definitely tough to see. I mean, they caused so much excitement and definitely, I think, drew a lot of its attraction to the Intrust Super Cup last year with their win. So it would be good to see them notch up a few more soon, I guess.
Big news out of the Gold Coast, AJ Brimson from Tweed to make his NRL debut in the halves, which is obviously a contentious call since they've got a few options there. But would you suggest that Kane LG will definitely be lining up for the Tweed Heads Seagulls this week?
Look, I think so. I think you don't want to give someone their debut and then take that away. I think we will see Kane get another run with Tweed. I think that's what Garth Brennan wanted to see. Obviously, they had a bye last week, so Kane's only played Tweed once despite missing 2 games for the Titans. I think the interesting thing with AJ, when they played that TV game 2 weeks ago against Mackay, he told Channel 9 that he had obviously been doing a bit better since moving to fullback. I think that's been reflected in his results as well. Obviously, he'll be playing in the halves this weekend, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And I don't know if Garth Brennan could have given him a bigger test, to be honest, coming up against Melbourne for his debut. So I hope things do go well for him, but it's definitely a tough initiation.
I guess, yeah, well, that's the thing. If you want a debut, you don't want to be going up against the Melbourne Storm or the Dragons for that matter. So.
No, I think, it's a big test, and I hope, I hope he gets the chance to have a few games there. I mean, Bryce Cartwright only got 2 shots. Obviously, he has a lot more experience than Brimson as well. So hopefully he gets a few games there to prove what he can do. And I mean, he may come out and shock us all, and Titans may come away with a surprise win yet again over Melbourne. But let's just hope he's not entirely judged on whatever happens this weekend.
Now, what's the story that you'll be, or your Intrust Super Cup story that will be coming out in the Courier Mail shortly?
Yeah, so every Thursday in our lift out, we have a dedicated page to the Intrust Super Cup. So this week I had the chance to speak with Kyle Laybut. Obviously, he's injured and he will be missing the Residents game this year. So I've spoken to him about his thoughts on who should replace him there at halfback. And just general chat, this was such a big year for him with Jonathan Thurston retiring. He's obviously in that Cowboy system, and now he's missing that chance to play for a renewal of a contract. So just a little bit about that and how he's dealing with that at the moment.
Thank you to Rugby League reporter Rikki-Lee Arnold there from the Courier Mail. Now you can grab tomorrow's Courier Mail to read Rikki-Lee's recent article about Kyle Laybut. Now let's go to this week's player profile.
Julian Christian, Ipswich Jets. Well, I moved down to Brisbane for the Bronx 20s, and then so once I stopped playing with them, my feed club was the Jets, and then I played a few Colts games, and then the Walker boys gave me a chance to play a few games for the Cup side. Yeah, probably Sean Johnson, or probably Benny Barber or Sean Johnson. Probably Wes Conlon. He might got a bit of age about him, but he can pull anything out of nothing. Yeah. He's the fellow we look for when we're in trouble. If it's a tie or something, or it's a close game, we always look for Uncle Deadly. Probably last week actually, when I walked into the toilets after training, and I seen Marmon Barber, the winger. He was in the mirror like always, and he was dancing. He even had a bit of hair gel there doing his hair, and I actually recorded it. A few of the boys put it up. So your best is all you can do, and don't feel let down if you don't make the rep teams with your mates. I was one of them fellas. I made my first Queensland team when I was about 18. So, and I had a lot of good mates that they went through, and I just stayed at club level. But yeah, now I'm playing against them. So don't be heartbroken when you don't make the rep teams, and that, just keep working hard.
Julian Christian there from the Ipswich Jets. Geez, he's an exciting player to watch, isn't he?
Oh, he fits into the Ipswich style of play well this year, and he runs a show.
Now let's have a look at round 10, or the 3 games that will be on round 10 this week. Semi like a split round, I guess. Now you got Redcliffe Dolphins up against Northern Pride.
Yeah, well, obviously that's the TV game this week. It's Redcliffe 5th on the ladder, Pride 8th on the ladder there. They're on 8 and 10 points respectively. Obviously Redcliffe will be looking to get back into the winner's circle after their last start loss to the Ipswich Jets, whereas the Pride have shown a little bit of indifferent form.
Yeah, look, and this is an absolute blockbuster for this region as well, as Tweed Heads versus Ipswich Jets. Now Kane LG to line up for the Seagulls, so this would be, I don't know, last time obviously he played Mackay, he really put some points on him, but I just wonder, no AJ Brimson, being that he's playing for the Titans, I just wonder how this game's going to go.
Yeah, well, it's obviously 2 teams that are in form. The Tweed have won their last 3, and obviously the Jets, like I just said before, defeating Redcliffe at home there. So obviously Tweed will probably go into this game thinking that they're a huge chance, and they are a huge chance. But like you said, the loss of AJ Brimson, who's been a standout player for Tweed, will be a big loss. But obviously, moving up to the NRL, that's what you want the players to do, and so it'll be give somebody else a chance down there at Tweed. Yeah,
look, and the only Sunday game is the Wynnum Manly Seagulls versus PNG Hunters. That'll be an absolute. There'll be a jam-packed crowd down there down at the Chook Pen, so we'll see how it all goes.
Well, it's obviously a must-win game for both teams. Wynnum on 10 points and in 10th position there, and the PNG on 14th position. So obviously both teams need a win, otherwise they're going to be on the second page again next week.
Now, which game were you looking forward to?
Obviously the Tweed Ipswich game. I think it's going to be a cracker. Both teams are attacking teams. Like, some teams are defensive teams, but the Jets in their style, they attack. In Tweed with the McGrady boys, they attack as well. So it's going to be a great attacking game.
Well, look, I think all three games are pretty exciting games. I mean, PNG they travel well, so they could have it take away or go away for win at Cogra. But who knows? I shouldn't say Cogra, sorry, Cougari.
Yeah.
Silly. They're not playing in Sydney.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, Bomber, as per usual, thank you very much for all your efforts today.
No, thanks for being here. Also like to just make a quick mention to South Logan winning the Melmaninga. So, big thing, so.
Very exciting win. It was 18-16. I think they were 18-0 at half time, or was it
something like that, 18-6 or something there, so 16-6. So, yeah, no, it was a good win.
That's good. All right, and also thank you to Rikki-Lee Arnold for giving all her insights into the Intrust Super Cup. Also like to make a mention to the QRL media. Thank you very much for the footage. If you'd like to keep informed of what's happening with after the 80, just head to the Phoenix Media Hub, and I look forward to joining you next week.